Hello everyone, welcome back to another OnlyFriends discussion video. I don't know what part this is, so you'll see at the top what part this is, but this video will be mostly me going through the comments of my reaction to episode 5. Now, I did do this video already, however, I decided to wait because as I was making that video, I got a bunch of new comments that I thought were more interesting to talk about, points of views to talk about. So I decided to scrap that video and redo it today. But because I am doing it so late, closer to the next episode's release, I'm going to just make this be the only video pertaining to episode 5, and I'll probably do more videos when it comes to episode 6. Maybe we'll see. But this will be the only one for now. Before we get started, though, I have some brand new pieces in my clothing shop. If you guys didn't know, I have my brand called Disnudo. You can shop my clothing at disnudoshop.com, and I just got some of the samples in today, and these are available now. Now I will say, I don't know if you can tell or not, but you see how big this D is? I made it a little bit smaller because I do like how this looks, but I envision it being a little bit tinier, so I just made it smaller, as well as on the beanie. So they will be fixed. They are fixed now, so everything is fixed. So you can go buy it how I envisioned it. But this is how it will look. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, also become a patron. If you haven't done so, become a patron. I'm watching the Korean dating show His Man season 2. Right now, as I'm filming this, episode 8 is uploading on there. So by the time this goes up, episode 8 is up. So come join me on Patreon and watch that with me. Now, if you can't support me on Patreon, feel free to support me by buying, something from my shop. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so before we get started with this, I found out, I guess I've been new, but there are anti-fandoms. There's an anti-Top and Mew fandom actively happening. And I've seen people in the comments who are hating Top and even hating Mew. But I really have seen it a lot recently during this week on Twitter, and it is running rampant. Like, how is there an anti-fan club? A fan club for a subject matter or characters or something that you hate. It is wild. And they just spend time posting about these characters that they hate and dragging them and dragging people who like them and dragging their commentary on the episode is just dragging them rather than focusing on the things they actually like about this. Like, it's an odd thing, but because of that, I remember there's a YouTube channel called Quality Culture, I believe. And what they do is they go through movies and TV shows and kind of give you an overview of those and the themes and their points of views on that from a writing standpoint, the thematic relevance to them, all those things. It's very interesting. And they did one for the movie Atonement. I'm going to play a clip for you right now. And it's going to basically reiterate what I've been saying about people's thoughts on Top or even Mew or any character really. So here's a clip.
The lives of two people. And it seems the essence of her character becomes a moral absolute for a lot of people watching. She is trash. She is irredeemable. This is partly because watching this film leaves you with a sense of overwhelming sorrow because of what she did. It's the kind of movie you might not want to watch twice, even though it really is gorgeous and well made. I think moral ambiguity is particularly relevant in our current cultural climate, where we're swift to pass judgment and reluctant to forgive, seemingly regardless of the severity of the transgression or how distant in the past. And it's becoming a little mind-boggling because pretty much everyone is morally ambiguous to a certain extent. Yet in all our online righteousness, we often dismiss context or nuance in favor of cramming people into the good or bad pile and treating them accordingly. But people are seldom as simple as that. Atonement is the perfect story to explore this topic, because what Bryony did was terrible, but does this act have to define her forever? Did she ultimately atone for her wrongdoings? Did she grow as a person, or is she truly irredeemable? And perhaps the most crucial question, who even gets to decide?
Yeah, so basically, it's very odd because, I'm even seeing one comment right here. It says, Top is manipulative and fake. He said he wanted to pursue Mew and be a better person, but then went and slept with Boston. Nothing he does feels genuine. Same with Mew. Both of them feel very fake and manipulative to me. Um, so this comment, after seeing that clip from the channel Quality Culture, it I've been saying that for the longest time. Like, I don't know why Top is the most hated person on this show and in general. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand you not liking the fact that he slept with Boston when he's trying to pursue Mew. I get that. That wasn't a good look. I keep saying it. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I just think that because of him getting along very well with Mew, they get along with each other. And this episode alone, episode 5, is giving a whole new world. He's giving Disney Prince and showing him different things to do with the silent disco. And this episode with the whole darkness date thing. I don't know what that was, but that was so cool, right? And he respects his boundaries. He's answering his questions. He's getting to know him and vice versa. They're openly affectionate. Like, there's all these things that are positive with their dynamic, and that's where I'm basing their characters on. You know what I mean? And I understand, like I said, I understand he did sleep with Boston, but I'm just gonna keep remembering the fact that Boston pursued him. It wasn't the other way around. He's not out here trying to get more nookie because he's not getting it from Mew. It just Boston preyed on those feelings and whatever the case may be, and did stunts and shows to get him to do it eventually. And then he felt guilty and cut Boston off and dragged him. That just shows more to me. He's not defined by that one action of him sleeping with Boston. And also, he's not cheating on nobody, so that's also a factor in. Those things matter. I understand those that happening to someone could still make them upset. You're talking to someone or sleeping with someone else, which may not be a big deal, but if you sleep with a friend, it is hurtful. It could cause it not to continue, which that is just where the cookie crumbles. If Mew decides not to continue with Top after finding this out, I would be mad at him. I'm like, you know what? You're right. That you ain't feeling that. That's not what you like. Cut it off and keep it moving. Cut it off and keep it moving. Or if you're like, you know what? I don't like this, but we weren't together, and in reality, Top knew Boston before he knew Muse, and they've been had a thing. So like, it's not like it's just doing it just because he saw your friend. He been did your friend, and you just happen. It just there's more to it. And for me, if you're anti Top fan, anti Mew fan, this is not the place for you to spew all that hatred. Cause there's nothing I can do for you here. I mean, go ahead and leave a comment. It helps me with the algorithm. It pushes my videos more, which I need. But I'm gonna tell you now, and this is the last time I'm gonna say this. You keep reiterating the same thing. Oh, he slept with Boston. He's terrible. Gotcha. I heard you 1,400 times. If you want to talk about what's going on in this episode, we can do that. We can do that. I can you can hate Top, but also talk about what's going on in the episode. We can really get past that and move on. And yes, maybe yes, it's going to implode. It's going to pop off. Sure, okay. I'm not sure what point you're trying to prove by letting me know it's going to get messy. Obviously, it's not lost on me. We all saw the trailer. We saw Mew cuss him out for doing this in the trailer. We got it. Like, I don't know what y'all. What is this? And I really kind of feel a ways because, like I said in that video, and also during Shaki's live, is like y'all make Top sleeping with Boston the worst thing in the world when like y'all were out here going ham and going off for the couples in Kim Porsche, where they are literally murdering people, abusing each other. I don't understand that. Like, those characters are actually awful to each other in many different ways, and it's the epic love story I like to see. I don't get that. And then, like I said before, Tarn type, awful. They physically hurting each other, sexually assaulting each other. it's all these different things that are happening in these narratives and even other shows before that, and for me it's really hard to kind of ship it just because it's a ship. It's already predetermined, which is what happens a lot in boys love, especially if it's adapted from a novel. When it's adapted from a novel, y'all gonna go ham and go hard for it, either because you know what's happening and how it works out, or you just feel like the toxic dynamic is just makes them stronger, or you just love it because even in the other shows, like the characters will be out here with a whole girlfriend, cheating on them with his boy, but you want to ship him with the boy, even though he may have told him that he gonna leave her for him. Like it's really messy always, and it's awful that these people, these characters who are presented as queer characters, go through this and have to be in this dynamic all the time. Is weird. I don't understand that, and I know someone said in the comment section, no one feels that way anymore, which is a lie. That's a full because Kim Porsche was just not too long ago. That's a lie. So the whole like, oh, we don't love toxic dynamics and terrible people, that is a lie. It's just you may get called out for it more often, so you don't want to be vocal about that as often. And also, they have strayed away from overtly terrible people in these stories. And because I noticed a lot of times if I don't like a show or even a ship, it's because mostly the characters can be insufferable at times. Like I felt like that with like a Boss and a Babe. Like our main like Cher was just agitating on the regular. And that show itself, it wasn't about the couple itself. It was more like the story. There wasn't one really. There's a like thin plot line, nothing really happening. So that's more of an issue with me when it comes to these boys' love. It happens a lot. They don't they have a plot, a premise. They rather focus on just having the boys up under each other and not do anything else. I get frustrated. And I rather have that issue with the show than having the characters like physically harm each other and assault each other and do these things that's hard to come back from, really, than that. So a win is a win, I guess. I don't know. But when in this show, it's a little bit different because I'm seeing, especially in this episode, seeing them kind of bond and get to know each other and really like each other, especially Ray and Sand. It is so refreshing to see. Like the love part of boys love is there, and I know this isn't. I don't think it is adapted from nothing. So it's in the team behind, so it reads more queer. So it doesn't seem like it's pandering to like tweens or like women, and I'm kind of like living for that. you know, yes, it is still messy, but it's a drama, and life is messy. Things aren't just a black and white kind of thing. There's more nuance. There's growing pains. Um, it's all about the character's intention, how they respond to certain things. Even this in this episode, people were kind of like coming at Sand sideways for not wanting to immediately talk to Ray after that big blow up in the living room. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they just a big old fight in the living room. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm not trying to hear all that. I'm exhausted. We've been drinking. It's a lot. He is not terrible or like a bad person or whatever point you're making because he didn't want to do that. I feel like people want the characters to act, but they want how they want them to act immediately, always, all the time. You owe everybody everything, and that does come with people shipping the characters and something happening to kind of go against the ship. So I guess people can't let go of what Top did because maybe they do ship Top and Mew a lot, and that's just a stain on that. Or in this case, it's not that fair for Sand to shut down with Ray when he found out that Ray is still in love with Mew or loves Mew, because cause they want that ship to work out, so he want them to talk and communicate. But there's different circumstances that drive why the characters are doing the things they're doing. So that's all I want to say on that. Sorry, I went on a whole long rant. It's getting crazy out here with these shows and whatnot. Now, I do watch a lot less than my peers do, especially the Thai ones recently. I'm more so reacting to the Korean ones more often, which I really like the Korean ones a lot. Um, and the Thai ones, they just their story structure just they be killing me. They drag on. They're like there's not enough going on with the characters. Like sometimes the characters aren't moving a plot or their narrative forward. They're like more reactionary characters, which isn't a bad thing. But when they don't even react when they're a reactionary character, that's the problem. And so a lot of the Thai dramas, I'm like, I just don't, I can't get into this. We're either not doing enough, repeating what we did already, so it's hard for me to continue and like go on. So this show here, it just is making my heart smile. And you may say, but there's no plot for real, and you're correct. There's no overarching plot. It's just more like a theme, mostly, and it's character driven. It is focused on these characters and their relationships and how they're going to come together eventually, hopefully, maybe, yes or no. We're going to see at the end, and their journey with that. And I think that's what you want from Boys Love, but they don't actually do that. So either they don't have a plot where the characters have something that they want and go for, and they just fall in love on the way, or the story is them falling in love, but they don't. They cause their own issues a lot, or there's nothing else going on with them, so they just kind of like put in they just pad the runtime with them doing nothing, just hanging out, and like maybe we have a little bit of plot somewhere here and there. Like it's a lot. So when I'm watching this show, yes, I may show my joy a bit more than I probably should in some ways, but I don't mind it. I want to enjoy the series. I think the production value is very good as far as cinematography, sound, costuming. The acting is very good. I really like that. The characters feel like real queer people. I like it having all those bust down scenes or like sexual dynamics is so real. It's so real. You may think it's gratuitous or you may think it has no substance because of it. That is a point of view to take, and I understand that, but to want to eliminate all of it or just have it be very surface level is a bit odd as well. As much as you love more fluffy, cutesy on the surface level PDA, people love more explicit, and they're not wrong for wanting that. I made a whole video on this about the too much NC scenes in Boys Love. You both are wrong for wanting those things, but I don't think one show is better than the other because it doesn't have those things. Like I'm not saying the fluffy show is bad because they're not busting down. The fluffy show is bad because they're not doing anything. And the same thing can happen on this side. The bust down scenes can just be all it is, and we're not doing anything either. So it's like it's weird. I'm just going off on this tangent because I just the amount of comments I've been getting and I've been seeing on the regular when it pertains to my point of view has just been ridiculous. And this video is taking so long. I'm so sorry for this whole rant. I'm supposed to get into the comments. But yeah, hopefully I made some sense. Hopefully I didn't repeat myself way too much. I know I always repeat myself. My bad. Um, let's see. This comment here. I love Mew. Oh, that's surprising because people hate Mew. I love Mew. All the fan talk about Mew being insincere, manipulator, or the mastermind, I don't buy into it, especially because it feels like the writers are continuously giving us moments that show how naive and young and new to dating Mew is. I do agree. He is, even though he has his thoughts and opinions on dating and what he wants, he's still new to it. It's still fresh. So you can see it on his face, especially now that he's like falling more and more for top. He's very just. It reading about what you like or experiences like his novels he reads and experiencing yourself is two different things. And I think he might be feeling the things he might have read, but like it's a different ballpark when you're actually feeling it. In this episode, when he gets paranoid about the waiter in the first restaurant and the host of the second restaurant, it really feels like someone falling in love for the first time. I do agree with that. It did feel like I thought he was going to be like vocal about whatever insecurities he might have felt in those moments because we can only guess what he might be feeling because we've only seen his face. We haven't seen him talk to anyone beyond, in this episode, beyond Boston. He called him, but other than that, he hasn't really kikied and kind of expressed his feelings on what's going on. And I hope we get that next episode, especially with he has another best friend. What's her name? Cherub. She could have been the one he talked to a lot, and that would have been made her. It would have helped us learn more about Mew and his thought process. 'Cause we're only guessing. We're probably right. It's pretty obvious, but we don't know. It's just a guess. And their love scene, where they were stumbling over each other, even the way Mew kisses in the scene, it feels like someone nervous and desperate to get it right. I have yet to see something that coordinates with the master manipulator theories. Me too. I keep asking, what would he gain for being a manipulator in some of the ways that people think he is? And they go, well, I don't know. So so you're saying he is gonna be doing all these stunts and shows with no motivation to do so? Because you'd be like, oh, he's gonna get back at Boston and Top, so he gonna waste his 6 months of his life with this boy to get him to fall in love with him just to break his heart? That don't make no sense. And we saw the trailer. That's why I'm not. It doesn't make any sense, y'all. For him to in the trailer cuss out Top for this situation and then fight Boston and push him in the pool. We are getting this whole master manipulator thing. Where is he? And I understand. Y'all probably forgot the trailer because I sure did. I just watched it recently after episode 5. And I was like, oh wait, this checks out. But I'm like, y'all. I'm sure y'all remember the trailer. So let me know. And y'all. I know you're gonna say, oh well, the trailer. You can't trust the trailer. You can't trust the trailer. Okay, we gonna see. How about that? They said the writing in the show is amazing. The focus on character rather than plot. Oh my god, I just said that. Oh my god. Is almost my favorite type of writing. Yeah, some people do love character driven narrative. I can get behind a character driven narrative when it's like short film, a movie. I don't know if I can. I guess it's they're doing it in this show, but there's multiple characters that we focus on, so it's not like one pair being dragged out for however many episodes. So this is fine here. I'm thinking if there's one sole couple and we're doing a character driven narrative type of thing, I wouldn't want to watch 12 episodes, 45 minutes of that. I wouldn't. But the Korean dramas do that. They have that, but their episodes are like 15 to 20 minutes long, so they're not really taking too much time up. You know what I mean? All the characters feel like real people. Oh my god, I just said that. I'm also really keen on an episode that dives into Mew. But I agree. I can't wait to see us get to know Mew more, or his point of view without Top being around. Because we always see him with Top or see him with Ray. Like I want to see him by himself or see him without other people that he's involved with that he can just talk to. Like maybe his best friend, and he can tell us how he feels, or maybe explain some things about his character that we didn't know. That will be really great. I like that comment. Let's go to another one. Let's see. In my opinion, I don't think Boston has some type of sad backstory or motivation. So he's just doing stuff just to be doing it. Boston doesn't really care about anyone but himself. And it was literally like, if I'm not happy, I won't let anyone else be happy. And I like the director said that Boston. So people like, oh, so it said this comment saying that the director said that people like Boston just like to see the world burn. Now I don't follow the director, even though I like his work. I don't follow the director, so I didn't know what any behind the scenes tea or anything. But if this is what he's saying about Boston, him just doing stuff just to do it, that is wild. That is wild. Cause he was wild for like blowing up Ray's spot like that. That was ridiculous. Next comment. Let's see. I will keep saying this. My only problem with Top is that he kept it to everything to himself. So I guess the whole busting down Boston, they wish he would have told Mew. Okay, that's fair. Other than that, he's fine. Right. Now, I don't think he should have told Mew. Maybe, I mean, it's going to come back up. And it's going to be an issue, obviously. I'm not saying keep secrets, but I'm also saying keep secrets. No, maybe not. No, don't keep secrets. How do I feel? I feel like, I guess I would want to know if I was on Mew point of view, but I can see why if I was Top, I wouldn't want to say nothing. Because for what? Especially if you're not dating that person. If you were together, it makes more sense to tell him if you really feel guilty and have remorse over that. tell him y'all break up and keep it moving. Because you telling him or not telling him, and if you're a couple, you not telling him because you want to stay a couple because that might break y'all up. It's more selfish. Like you are the one who determining y'all staying together rather than y'all coming to that conclusion together. Is wild. But since he wasn't with him, that's why I feel. Since he wasn't with him, I feel like take to the grave. I know that sounds bad. It is kind of bad, but if like I said, if they were together, I would be seeing something different. Obviously, I'd be feeling differently, but I'm taking everything in consideration and not just what one thing is, like one little aspect of it, like him like breaking the loyalty that he doesn't have with Mew yet. So you know what I mean. So that's why. Um, the only reason why it's a problem is because I know something hit the fan. Yep. And no matter how much you want to apply logic to Top wasn't officially with Mew, feelings won't listen. I agree. I'm not saying Mew won't be upset. I'm not saying it's not upsetting that that happened. I'm just saying the logic is something that needs to be considered. Feelings too, but logic also gets thrown out the wayside. I think people don't include the logic when they gather their opinions and feelings on what's going on. Like think of it logically first. Also, the feelings, because both things can be true. You can be like, I'm hurt by this, but also you have no obligation to me. Next time, I'll make sure. I'll know better next time to make sure I'm actually with someone. I'm actually gonna, like obviously you learn from those things. I know technically he hasn't done anything wrong, but to tell the person that gave their virginity to you after thinking they gave it to you is sincere and has done anything behind your back, yeah. Maybe I'm anticipating too much, but since I'm a virgin as well, I can relate more to Mew since I want the same thing. See, someone left a comment, this comment saying they relate to Mew, and that's why their feelings towards the situation with Top is so intense. I love that. Some people don't even leave any type of reference to why they feel so intensely about it. I mean, yes, you can. It's an obvious feeling, like you're dating someone and they bust down someone else, especially your friend. You can feel upset, but everyone has like such severe animosity. I'm like, damn, what is going on with you? But some people said this happened to them, or they wouldn't want this to happen to them in the same scenario because they are also a virgin, or whatever the case may be. I like that. I like when you guys leave comments like this. Like, express your opinions. You don't have to agree with me or my point of view, but explaining your point of view like this is my favorite chef kiss. Okay, let's read another comment. I feel like we're always on the same page. I too am a top apologist. Someone called me a top apologist in one of my other OnlyFriends discussion, and I was shocked. I was shocked. And I understand, I do like Top, and I'm like, he's a cool guy. He's cool to Mew. He's charming and chilled, and he's no problem getting goofy and eating ice cream, and he's. But I don't think I'm apologizing for him busting out Boston, which I guess it kind of makes it seems that way when I bring up Boston was also in the room. Boston also did the things that he did to get it to happen. People are like, well, don't shift the blame. I'm not shifting the blame. We need to share the blame. A friend is betraying a friend. That's all I'm doing. Y'all are wild. I felt the vibe with Boston and Nick today. Oh, I did too. I like their dynamic. Boston and Nick, when they're good with each other. All the pairs are good with each other. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. They are good to each other. Yes, there's secrets and lies and things are underneath the surface. We know Ray is in love with Mew, so y'all think he should be trying to pursue Sand. Why not? Get over that. Get over Mew and get under someone else, especially if you like them. Especially if you're growing, bonding, learning about them. Let's move on. Let's move on. There's nothing wrong with it. Y'all think he's horrible for pursuing this when he's okay. They're not together. They've never been together. They won't be together. Like he can't just. I guess he should probably wait until he gets over it, but maybe he won't. This may help him, and his feelings. towards Sand seem genuine. Like I'm not understanding that. And then I already said how I feel about Top and Mew. They are getting along, and Mew Top doesn't seem to be doing anything with ill intent with Mew. I know he's like he had a conquest thing going on, but like that's out the window. We know that, so that's good. And then now we got Boston and Nick, and they just really they get along. And I know Boston's not trying to date him, but he's not terrible. Like outside of that being a point of contention with Nick, they're good. We see that. Do y'all see it? Because I see it. And I felt the vibes in this episode. It felt like Boston was being sincere. Yeah, I feel like he was. And him and Nick couldn't start. Him and Nick could start something going on, and Boston had to go and does what he does. You know what? You're right. Because I was like kind of with it. I was like, okay, Boston. Yeah. But then at the party, at the get together, him blowing up Ray's spot, I was like, count your days, ho. Because I do ship Ray and Sand, even more so, I think, than I ship Top and Mew. I don't know, maybe more so. But the fact that Boston blew that spot up, like he blowing, like he's trying to like, in both relationships, in these two different dynamics, he's doing things to ruin it. And he's pissing me off, because like, you don't got to be doing all that, bestie. Like, what did Ray do to Boston? What did Mew do to Boston? Right. And those his homies. What did they do to you for you to act like this? And I know I saw the trailer. Boston was cussing out Mew saying, you don't deserve Top. And like, oh, why would Top choose you? Like, he's jealous and he wants Top to choose him. For what? Now, there may be some more backstory that's saying maybe Top gave him that good and he couldn't let it go. And maybe he's an F-boy because of... We don't know. I think Boston is the most interesting character on the show. I just... Sucks that we don't know nothing about nothing yet. And it frustrates me because I want to know everything about everything now. But he's wild for that. He's wild. What they say? I rewatched this episode a couple times, and on my first watch, the party scene seemed to be so happy and chill and good vibes. And that's because I mainly focused on the affection between two couples and how happy Nick, Santa, and Ray looked. They look so happy, y'all. They look so like I was living for it. I was living for it. After a rewatch, you can look on Boston's face and he's watching Ray and Sand. Ooh, like their happiness is making him uncomfortable. And to me, it feels a little bit like Boston was having a good day with Nick. They were bonding, they were vibing, and then this bubble, they were vibing, and then the bubble, they were full. They had all day burst, and is when it burst because Mew called Boston about Top. That did happen. That scene was so quick though. I don't know why Mew called Boston of all people. I guess because he knows he's friends with Top, so like I guess. But after they got the phone, a quick little upsetting feeling with Boston was shown. Now I love how he was like very encouraging on the phone, like yes, but go get your back blown out, like go off, King. But then he got the phone. I was like, that is interesting. I feel like they could have given us more because we're just guessing on what Boston feels. I wish they gave us a bit more. Like, I think I've said this. I'm not sure if I said in my reaction to in this episode, but I did say during the live, we should have cut out a Sand and Ray scene. Like either cut out the birthday party at the strip club or cut out the concert. I'm leaning towards the concert because I feel like the mom is more relevant than them going to that concert. I feel like that was the whole episode felt like a filler, but like that scene in itself was a filler because we didn't gain anything from that scene besides them kind of kiki and get along. But we've seen that before and after that, so like it wasn't necessary. You know what I mean? So we could have cut that and gave more points of view on Boston Nick. We could have had Nick more overtly remember his talk with Top and kind of realize how Top was and how he wanted to be that way. Very confident, calm, cool, and collected. He liked his style. Stalking his IG, see how whatever he thinks Boston likes about Top, he can kind of emulate, which is what he was doing. It just wasn't very overt in the message when it came to that. We just saw him, the scenes spliced together. I mean, they got their point across. We know what they were doing. I just kind of wish we kind of got more into his headspace. Like maybe we could have had a scene where, and we kind of did. Now I'm thinking that we kind of did, where he's gonna go to the gym, and Sam's like, "You gonna go to the gym?" He's like, "Yeah, can I worry about my body?" But I kind of wish we had another scene where like maybe Nick would have went with Ray and Sam to the store. He would have shopped for those new outfits, and Ray and Sam could have been like, "You look like Top," and then and Nick being like, "Y'all got my face," and you know they both don't like Top, so like it would have been perfect for Ray and Sam to be like, "Mm." I don't know, Nickiana. This not what you. Why you dress like that? And he was like, I like this style. It just so happens to look like Top, but he didn't invent this. No copyright claim here. And they'd be like, I guess. And then we would have seen Boston show all this like interest in Nick's new physique and how he's dressing, and him being even more interested than he already was. Ooh, that would have been great. And then that scene where like Top and Mew came and they saw him, and he saw Top and like more so go for Nick because he's emulating Top, so he's getting his fix, but he realizes it's not the same. Especially at the party, he's looking at Ray and Sam, being like, "I can't be like this with Top. I'm trying to fake it for with Nick, and I like Nick, but he ain't really hitting that spot. You know what I mean?" Gagged. I'm so sorry for that whole tangent. That was wild. Oh, I've been talking for so long, guys. You know what? I'm gonna end it here. Hold on, let me skim through this. Skim through this rest of this comment. Okay, they basically saying what I just said. Like he is just kind of jealous, and he didn't like how to. Okay, got it. Um, sorry for this choppy, ranty video. Sorry I didn't get to a lot of comments, even though that the whole point of me doing this video again was going through more comments. But a lot of comments really said the same thing mostly about how they feel about the characters and what's going on. So my bad if I didn't get your comment. Maybe in the next video I will be more diligent on that. I just had to get my feelings across because the anti-fandoms and all that stuff was crazy. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Like I said, become a patron. Come watch His Man with me. It's been really fun. I'm really liking it. I'm also reading a manga. If you guys like the Boys Love mangas, I'm reading one. I won't tell you what it is. Just come to my Patreon to see what it is. You'll like it. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.